Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to day 69 of the Chronological Read Through the Bible. Today's commentary covers Numbers chapters 32 through 33. Now, I want to say in this chapter, we're primarily going to look at chapter 32 today, because 33 is really just a little bit of a travel log, and it's saying, well, we went here, and we went there, and we camped here. That's the gist of it. Maybe a little more depth to it, but some of it is you wouldn't really know these names of these places. It's just to show the journeying. But the one thing that you will take note of in chapter 33 is where there's this gap of about the 37, 38 years while they were traveling in the wilderness. We're not even told, we know nothing about it really. They received the Ten Commandments, they received the instructions for building the tabernacle, and then all of a sudden we're back at the border and we're building up faith to cross the border, and it begins the closure of Moses' time as far as the leader for the nation coming out of Egypt. So, 32 starts with an interesting little challenge here. The tribe of Reuben and Gad and half of the tribe of Manasseh decide they don't want to cross the Jordan. They want to take this land, this choice land, which they've seen. They've seen it with their eyes. Now, oftentimes people are swayed by what they see with their eyes, or they think, well, this is going to be better, as you often hear, for a cow, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, right? So for them, the grass is greener on the side of the Jordan which they're currently on. And they're given this pledge, okay, you can have the land, but you have to fight. You have to join your brothers as they cross the Jordan to fight for their possession. And once they have control of all of their territory, then you will have fulfilled your vow, and you can then maintain this territory which you desired. One reason why I don't think that this really is as much of an issue as you would think that it would be. Here's a group of people saying, we don't want to cross. I wanted to share with you this little aspect of it, and that is, if we go very far back, if we go back to the beginning when God was promising this land to Abraham, the Lord really gave Abraham all the land which Reuben, Gad, and half of Manasseh is wanting. He had said that he gave them approximately 300,000 square miles. When the children of Israel crossed the Jordan and take possession of the land which God had promised them, they're really, at that point, only going to be taking possession of 30,000 square miles. So, only really 1/10 of what God had originally told them they could have. And God didn't change His mind, it's just that's what they were settled with. I guess in their mind, they're like, well, this is what we've got, and this is what we can fight for, and this is what we can maintain. I think the challenge that I got out of that in thinking of this passage of Scripture is how so many believers only take about 1/10 of the possession of spiritual promises which God has given to them. I want you to think about this. A lot of times people will say, when someone's on their way to prayer meeting, hey, be sure and pray for me, or pray for me when you're at church today. How about this? How about, yes, I'll pray for you, but how about you coming to church too? How about you being there to pray? How about you possessing and occupying the spiritual territory which the Lord has for you, instead of letting others fight that battle or claim that territory? Why don't you come and claim that territory? Now, I don't mean to be just super challenging, but many people, they do just sit back and they never really take possession of what the Lord has given to them. And I think to revisit the challenge that I gave earlier this week, I think it comes back to the whole challenge of, is God a visitor in your life, or is He have ownership and possession of your life? And I know this day and age, a lot of people just aren't willing to give that up to the Lord or to anybody. But if you can't give it to God, who can you give it to? And we already know that on our own, we can't do it. So trust the Lord today and trust Him to take possession of what He has already given to you. The Lord had given the Hebrews the land. If when the 12 spies went up to see the land, if they had returned, and maybe the 10 of the 12 would have said, well, it's going to be dangerous and it's going to be a challenge. But as Joshua and Caleb said, we can do it. You can do it. It was said many years ago, the world is yet to see what God can do through a man who is totally yielded to Him. Would you be that person today? Would you be that son or daughter of God who says, you know, I'm going to yield every part of my life to Him and let Him have His way? Well, brothers and sisters, I hope that you're having a blessed day. Till tomorrow, God bless.